Hello, good evening. Welcome to the Institute of Global Professionals Free International Webinar. Thank you for joining, and I hope that you stay with us until the end. My lovely audience, I am your host for tonight. My name is Mikey D. Leonardo from New Era University, Main Campus, Quezon City. Ladies and gentlemen, I am proud to be associated with the Institute of Global Professionals as a global member. I feel honored and privileged to be the host tonight. Once again, it is my delight to welcome you all to our free international webinar. Thank you for joining us and stay with us until the end. I am sure you will have many takeaways and payoffs after this. Each time, you can comment to interact with our webinar. Also, don't forget to tag, share, and mention your friends in the comment box. Let's watch together and learn together. Here in IGP, we believe that power is gained by sharing knowledge, not hoarding it. Once again, I am Mikey D. Leonardo from New Era University Main Campus, Quezon City, a practice teacher taking Bachelor of Secondary Education major in English. Before I proceed, I would like to say thank you to my supervisor, Dr. Julie T. Valencia, for introducing IGP to me. I would also like to say thank you to my friends, Erica, Elizabeth, and Janice, for always supporting my endeavors. Now, I am happy to inform you that every day we have new participants joining. So, let me give you a little concept about IGP. The Institute of Global Professionals is an educational institution that provides globally recognized social work. We organized our trainings, webinars, offline courses, and many others with the best and trained speakers and coaches from all over the world to create the best learning platform for you. Our mission is to enhance and empower people. As of today, we have already completed 376 webinars successfully. I hope that all of you get a lot of benefits both for your personal and professional lives. I also hope that you remain with us in this long journey. Let me remind you again, don't forget to share, tag, comment, and mention your friends in the comment box because your attachment encourages us to do better and give you the best service that you deserve. Everyone, today we are presenting our webinar number 377, The Silent Language of Influential Speakers. Let's start our program with IGP's mantra, Feed Your Skills. Please welcome our speaker for tonight. He is a leadership and he is a senior principal, leadership, and career coach from India. Everyone, let's welcome our speaker, Dr. Balachander. Good evening, sir.
Good evening. Good evening. Thank you for the wonderful opportunity and thank you for the wonderful introduction. And when I went through all the slides on IGP, I was really truly amazed. They have a great connectivity with more than 20 to 30 nations easily. That shows that the IGP is on the verge of completing its mission and vision to a great extent. And the years to come, they are going to be the force to reckon with. There's no doubt about it. When I heard this introductory speech itself, I understood. This IGP is meant for education, true education, nothing else. And it is connected so many universities, including USA, Singapore, India, Pakistan, Canada, and I was really Greece, in fact, and I was just going to it for the first time. And first, I am truly overwhelmed to be the part of IGP's webinar today. And as you clearly mentioned it, it's 377th webinar on the silent language of influential leaders. I was told by the top command of IGP, most of the delegates, most of the participants are from teaching fraternity. That gives me an edge to talk to the teaching fraternity in particular and other delegates. And I was told, and most of the participants are delegates and their expertise in the field of education for not less than a decade. That gives a sound introduction and sound webinar of international repute. And before moving on to my slide sharing, and before moving on to the topic, the silent language of influential leaders, let me see, let me say, who is an influential leader? A leader, one who influences and makes an impact on each team player to contribute to the overall development so that organization can be in the positive frame of mind. That's the most important thing. And before moving on to the slide language of influential leaders, this platform, this particular webinar will open the floodgates for so many delegates to be the influential leader in future. People often get confused. Who is influential leader is all about? It's not a question of types of leaders, be it authoritarian, or be it country club, or be it impoverished leader. We need to be at the edge and need to show the way to our team under our belt. That's the most important aspect so that the entire organization will grow. My dear participants, definitely you'll have a great connectivity with me. Even me, I'm equally elated to connect with the inspiring and aspiring people on board to push themselves to broaden their vision and mission. Let me share my slides now. Now, before moving on to the main topic, the silent language of influential leaders, we'll first try to understand the types of leaders we come across every day, be it in entrepreneurship, be it entrepreneurship, or be it in corporate, or overall in organization. We need to understand the types of leaders we come across. And we are going to choose and we are going to understand which type of leader suits which type of industry. That's the most important aspect on this topic. Before going to the graphical representation, there you could see those are very well versed in mathematics could understand easily, even otherwise also. I broadly classified the leadership into 4 categories: impoverished, authoritarian, team leader, and country club. Let me begin with the first slide of all these things. The first type of leader we will talk about is impoverished leader. A sluggish and lazy-like approach. The picture tells it all. Such type of leader is not welcomed. They are very much on the principle, delegate and disappear. They don't bother about the task. They never set the target to themselves. Rather, they occupy the power, they occupy the seats, and they remain in the cabin. Probably, they never indulge the field work is needed. They are not setting a great example to each team member. That's the fault of the leader. Now look at the graphically, you will understand. X-axis represents the people, Y-axis represents the task. Impoverished is in the 3rd quadrant, which indicates negative for both relationship with people and with the task. Theoretically, I can tell these impoverished leaders meant for low relationship, low task. Neither they keep very good relationship with the employees, not indulging in upbringing task. Such type of leaders may not bring the desired results. Sometimes you might think that under this type of leaders, there are maybe many self-reliant employees, but still, for an organization, such leaders are not welcomed. This theory will explain you it more clearly. An impoverished leader, very low on task, very low relationship, who uses, as I told you very clearly, delicate and disappear management style. They are not meant for setting up the target. They are not committed to any task, accomplishment, or maintenance. What do they do normally? They permit the team to whatever they wish and prefer to detach themselves from the team. At the end of the day, such inactive participants by this type of leaders leads to total failure of the team. There is no denying each member of the team is and each member of an organization is plays a vital role. But again, having said that, the leader should set an example and he should follow it up and monitor, should have a great relationship with the people so that entire organization will not struggle. But what he does, this type of leaders, they should put a minimum effort to get the work done. Overall, I can say, I can sum up, basically the lazy approach that avoids as much work as possible. So such type of leaders, impoverished leaders, is not at all welcomed. Next, we are going to talk about the country club leader. Such type of leaders have high relationship but low task. You might have heard about the principle of pat on the back policy. They are, of course, they motivate their employees through appraisal or through rewards or rewards. But in the task basis, in the task, they are very, very low. In some cases and some situations, such leaders are welcomed. But for the overall growth, impoverished leaders are the poorest among all the four types of leaders. But country club leaders, to some extent, yes, they keep a very good relationship with their employees so that they expect that each team member can perform better. But again, having set the low target, they will not go hand in hand coordination. Results in poor proficiency for an organization. This is a symbolic representation of country club leaders. Probably it's slightly better than impoverished leader. But again, since they are very low on task, such type of leaders are not welcomed in any type of industry, be it education industry or in corporate sector. You will understand why I see, look at the graphical representation of country club. Yes, they are on the positive side of people, on the positive side of relation on y-axis. But look at the x-axis. On task, they are very low. Overall, I can sum up. Such type of leaders are meant for low task, high relationship. In contrary, impoverished leaders are low task, low relationship. But these people, though they have a positive in them, yes, they too maintain a very good relations with their employees. But task, they are not up to the mark. So, such type of leaders are also not welcomed, not preferable. Look at this summary, you will clearly understand. Country club leaders are low task, high relationship, as I clearly mentioned you. They predominantly use reward power or appraisal to maintain discipline, and they kept on encouraging the team to accomplish its goals. Sometimes it works out wonder, but not always the case. They are not able to employ the legitimate powers. Such type of inability is cropping up since they think they are on the opinion. They strongly advocate using such powers could jeopardize, could harm the relationship with other team members. That's the reason why they want to keep high relationship with the employees, but on the task they keep bit low. They keep lot of rewards and awards and keep on encouraging. Yes, as I kept on telling that it might work wonder, but again at the end of the day, for organization growth, it will be lagging. Care and concern for the people is at most at its top. But again, such a friendly environment may not result in the growth what we expect. Now, look at the third type of leader, authoritarian. Authoritarian itself clearly denotes they are more authoritative in nature. They are very much on task, but on the relationship side, they are low. Just opposite of country club. Country club, they are very high on relationship, but low on task. They are just opposite. They are very high on task, but low on relationship. They are always begin the employees to complete the task in time. They are not having any room for concern for the people. Not much reward for the employees. They don't have any fear. Probably such type of leaders might excel in few organizations, in few sectors, but that's not always the case again. This is the image representation of an authoritarian. Looks very tough, only on task execution, not people friendly, not employees friendly. That leads to again displeasure among the employees. You cannot have a team as a well-oiled machine, a well-unit team. As in the beginning itself, I told you, the influential leader is one who makes an impact and influences each and every team member under his belt to contribute to the growth of an entire organization. This is the most important aspect of it. So, look at the graph, you'll understand more clearly. Authoritarian type of leaders are on the positive side of x-axis, means more on task. But look on the y-axis, they are very low on relationship. Just opposite of country club. Probably as an employee, you might like to have leader as country club leader. But again, as a growth, country club leader also is not a promising one. Similarly, authoritarian, very high on task, but they do not give any room for concern for the people. This summary will make you very clearly understand what I am talking about, what I am depicting through this PPT on authoritarian type of leaders. High task, role relationship, just opposite to country club leader. They see there is very little relevance for the cooperation and collaboration. They are not, this type of leaders not meant for awards or rewards or appraisal. Heavily task oriented people, they talk about only task, nothing else. They have this kind of characteristics. They're very strong on schedules, planning, and they expect each and every employee to follow the instructions, what they are directed. There is no question about debate or discussion as such. If anything goes wrong, they tend to focus who is to be blamed rather than how that such type of negligence cropped up, how to prevent those type of errors or hiccups. They try to find out the fault of the particular employee. So it is difficult for their subordinate to contribute or develop. That's the reason why all the employees under the belt of authoritarian type of leaders try to play a second fiddle. Rather, you would say they are not in supplying form, thus they keep the asked to perform. They never come out of, sometimes they never think out of the box. There is no growth on the contribution or to exhibit your prowess or material. Since you are allowed to complete only the task, you are not allowed to think beyond that. You have got already a guided system, the direction to which you should follow it. Demands compliance, nothing else. As I told you already, such type of leaders, yes, may be successful in few cases. But again, because the positive side is, yes, they are very high on task. But because the relationship with the people, with the employees, the result is not the desired one. The final leader, the most important leader, and the leader we expect to be more influential is none other than the team player. It looks friendly, looks authoritative, it resembles country club player, to little percentage of impoverished. Sometimes you give freedom to the employees to work on their own. He is the right type of leader who strikes a balance between the relationship and the task. Even in the education industry, the teachers expect their leaders or their principals or head of the organizations or academic head to be a team player rather than impoverished or country club and authoritarian. Absolutely authoritarian in education industry is overruled. Country club, yes, they prefer. But for everyone's growth, for organization growth, we prefer team player. Look at the team player on the graph. They are in the first quadrant. On the positive side of x-axis and positive side of y-axis. Look at that. You could see high, listen, almost 9 on scale. Similarly, 9 on x-axis, on task. So such type of leaders are instrumental in bringing every team member in an organization to contribute to the growth, contribute to the success of the mission or project or vision, the whatever may be. Here, when is a team player is the best? I'll move to the previous slide. Let me explain what is team player is all about. As I told you, you can have a clear look at this particular summary. Team player is a high task and high relationship. The most demanded leader. This type of person leads by positive example and endeavors to foster team environment. He creates an ambience. He creates an environment for employee to contribute to the success of the group for an organization, so that every team member can reach to their potential. In authoritarian, what happens here? Since they are allowed only to perform the task without a discussion, they may not perform to their potential. But over here, it's quite different. Each team member is in an environment, they perform to their potential, both as a team member and as a people. Not only that, this type of leaders encourage the team to reach team goals as effectively as possible. They work tirelessly only to create and strengthen the bond among the various members. When you look at the organization chart, they exhibit exact depiction on what this organization is all about. Connectivity at its best, coordination at its best, collaboration at its best, critical thinking at its best. So, this leader is most wanted and most demanded. They form, sometimes they lead most productive teams under the belt. Firing on all the cylinders, they are top-rated leaders. A question comes to you. I discussed about pros and cons of each type of leaders, starting from impoverished leaders, followed by country club, authoritarian, and finally, I spoke on the team player. Now you'll understand which type of leader suited to that environment you work under, you work in. The ambience I'm talking about. The astounding ambience leads to the stupendous performance. The ambience created by team player is something extraordinary. Having said that, the blend of the nuances of each leader might work wonder also. Few cases, you need to be authoritarian as a leader. In few cases, you need to be country club. Sometimes you need to be impoverished. Albeit they are being indulgent, lazy approach method. This summary clearly states that when to adopt which type of leadership. There is no doubt about it. There is no denying team player is the best type form of leader. But some crucial cases, some crunch situation, you have to play a trump card accordingly. The most desirable place for a player to be along x-axis most time would be, as I told you, 9 on task, 9 on people, the team player. There is no doubt about it. But again, we cannot dismiss other 3 entirely. Certain situations might call for one of other 3, sometime you have to use it. Probably impoverished sometime country club, on few cases authoritarian too. Under impoverished leadership, you allow your team to gain self-confidence, self-reliant. Being an authoritarian leader, you instill a sense of discipline that might be needed some time. By carefully studying the situation and the forces affecting it, you have to have a blend of impoverished or team player, probably country club with team player, or probably authoritarian with country club. But overall, in a nutshell, Team player is the best. The important slide next is see how to eliminate or transform the problematic employee in yourself and others. This question to be asked to yourself. How to eliminate such kind of problematic employee? Each employee has true potential as they have its own merits and demerits. But just to explain the type of leadership, I understood what this task is all about, the relationship. But one thing I'm sure, performing the task as expected level, you will definitely reach the stage you deserve. By eliminating problematic employee in ourselves or in others, we grow. I'm not talking about monetary benefits alone. It gives an edge to each and every employee to perform on a platform wherein you can focus on your growth. Now I'll move on to the main topic. The key feature of the silent language of leaders. Just now I spoke about the type of leaders to have a connectivity with this. Now we understand who can be a influential leader. Everyone will agree with me. Definitely, it's none other than team player. Now look at these slides very carefully, you'll understand. The right body language conveyed through your posture. The body language is the most important thing. The way you talk, the way you present. Apart from dress code, you should understand how to talk, how to be humble, the presentation. People look at your body language. The gesticulations, the facial expressions, the eye contact. Eye to eye contact is the most important aspect for an influential leader. Touch and smell, it comes under everything. Studies show that we evaluate a person's credibility, confidence, likability, and trustworthiness within 7 seconds of meeting them. See, just within 7 seconds you can understand, you can study the people very, very easily. The body language is fundamentally rooted in the brain's limbic system, which is a set of brain structure responsible for emotion and memory. Nowadays, we don't rely on body language to stay alive, but we need to be on the body language to remain important skill in business. That's the reason why I want to touch upon the topic, the silent language of influential leaders. The key feature, first one you understood very clearly, the right body language is conveyed only through gesticulations and facial expressions and your postures. Most important aspect of it. Look at the key idea too now. When we meet a leader, we will easily understand the warmth and the authority right away. Convey the warmth through more open body language. Just imagine when you're entering your boss rooms, you will be able to understand his mood behavior, mood pattern. And when he's not showing the right body language to you, you may not be interested in getting to his cabin at all. But as a leader, we have to exhibit the warmth towards our employee. Just you can connect that country club leaders. They have the better body language. They know how to get the work done from their employees, just with little appreciation, and also they're very warm, very open body language. so that you can enter into a conversation, enter into discussion with your leader. Not only that, when you put it in the discussion, is nodding, you have to expect is smiling and keeping your arms and legs uncrossed. The moment you keep your legs and arms uncrossed, you are not interested in the topic further. So, the body language speaks volume of silent language of an influential leader. Even the power and social status are also conveyed through body language. The multicultural team, there are many multinational companies wherein you can meet the people from different races, different culture, different customs. Over there, the body language plays an important role in communication with the people from different backgrounds. You just imagine in an organization where you work, you think about it. Whether do you have a right type of leaders? Whether you have a leader who have right type of body language to instill confidence in you. Even you may be a leader for your section. You need to play such type of role. The body language plays an important role. Most important aspect also. Might not be able to communicate fluently in everyone other's language. It's impossible. In other mother tongues and all, you cannot able to communicate. But again, trustworthiness with the right body language gives the confidence, gives an edge, which contribute to the total ambience, the great ambience. Rather, I would say, the great work environment to perform better. So it's in the hands of leaders to perform to the potential, to be warm, to accept, to listen, to nod, to have a great synchronization, the connectivity, and one who very much interested in collaboration. Such type of characters of influential leaders, that's why they are rated top. Now, look at the third idea. Mastering body language helps you become a better negotiator. Sometimes we may not be good at our body language, but mastering the body language, yes, it's vital. Even we can become a better negotiator too. Sometimes the juries judge you only based on the body language. So sometimes you tend to ignore the body language. Look at some of the tips I've given it here. Avoid looking down at your papers or anything else in the room. When you're talking to the person, when you're talking to an employee, when you're talking to your co-worker, kindly avoid looking down at your papers. It shows that you are not interested in listening to them. And such type of leader cannot be an influential leader, cannot make any impact, results in poor growth. Look at the second point. Identify some baselines in your conversation partner's body language. That's most important thing. Try to evaluate your partner's body language, the baselines. How far they effective in their putting up their body language. The third important key is keep the context in mind. What you're supposed to deliver, what you're supposed to instruct, what you're supposed to plan it out, what you're supposed to chalk it out, what you're supposed to pen it down. These points should be always kept in your mind. Don't deviate away from your context. This speaks volume on. This is the nuances of the silent language of influential leader. Look at the next key idea. Even with today's communication technology, yes, even today, right now, we are through StreamYard, we are through Zoom, we are through Google platforms. But in spite of all these things, yes, communication plays a vital role, no doubt about it. But connectivity is it at its best only through body language. The technology, the communication technology is indeed the welcome sign. But again, body language is important for enacting a change. First of all, for a leader, just to foster optimism, we need a great body language. With the way you present yourself, the people look at you. That's the reason why we are giving much importance to the dress code. That leads to body language. We express ourselves. The most important thing. Maintain eye contact. I kept on telling that. Confident entrance. The way you enter your office or your cabin or your room for meeting, which sends the right signals with your hands. It conveys power and certainty. If you're walking sluggishly, disinterested, it shows that you are not very confident, very low on moral. As a leader, when you exhibit such kind of characters, it pulls your entire team down. So you need to exhibit the apt body language, the apt attitude. Sometimes what happens in a meeting, in an open forum, when you're having a discussion, don't freeze yourself up. Never look like you want to leave. You are not interested. Such signs of defensive behavior. You are showing some withdrawn symptom. Not interested, not keen, not focused, not poised. These communication technologies are, of course, split into two forms: lean and rich. Lean and rich. First, lean is nothing but it's a text-based, whereas rich communication is a person's voice. Once again, repeat it. Lean is nothing but it's a text-based, whereas rich is a person's voice. But again, having said that, the face-to-face communication is the most important. Sometimes when you're giving the communication or instruction through some third party, it may not reach the way you want. That's why most of the corporate or most of the organizations, they prefer one-to-one interaction for appraisal, for any promotional activities. It's not possible always, but in important cases, the face-to-face communication plays an important role. Positive body language is a crucial part of effective collaboration. Can you believe it? Yes, indeed. If you want to have a great collaboration, it's possible only through a positive body language. The way you are showing your language, the positive mindset, positive frame is exhibited only through your positive body language. When you're disinterested, not focused, as you know pretty well, face is the index of the mind. When you have a sorry figure, when you cut a very sorry figure, when you're not, showing keen interest, your body language says it all. As I already told you, our brains even have mirror neurons that fire the same way whether you perform a certain action or watch someone else to do it. Close personal zone for friends or trusted business partners. Sometimes we have to have close connectivity with the personal zone of friends or trusted business partners. That connectivity speaks volume. You have to have that. Social zone for team building. That's the reason why most of the corporates or most of the organizations, they go for organizing tours or get together. That's needed. Now, look at the 6 important key points here. Gender plays an important role in body language. Many might wonder, is it so? Yes, indeed. Men and women process emotions differently. You might have come across. Both the mirror neurons, no doubt about it. Both men and women have the mirror neurons. But in male brains, another system takes over shortly after the mirror neurons are fired. Immediately, other system takes over. The system causes men to focus more on analysis and problem solving. They tend to focus more on analysis because of their different emotion pattern. But female brains are continually processing emotion longer compared to men. Female body language definitely conveys empathy more effectively than their man counterparts. Empathy can get through female body language very easily. That's the reason why you could see most of the shops and everywhere they prefer a female employees and the sales department. They have the patience to talk and they have a more empathy. They make eye contact. Not only that, they smile more often than men. So such kind of body language plays a vital role in overall growth of the business entity. Now, male leaders usually prefer to project strength, power, authority, and the language is more blunt and direct. The language is not a decorative one. They are very direct, blunt, because men, contrary to the women, as leaders, they like to project strength, power, and authority. That's the reason why the language is blunt. Sorry. The final key point here is see, understanding cultural differences in body language is vital. Yes, we are coming across now. Even today, I'm sure the participants are from very different regions and different culture backgrounds, but the body language is very important. Being a speaker, I need to present myself so that he could follow me, even with the host, even with the top command of Institute of Global Professionals. They know it because they are connected with so many nations, multicultural, so that they are in the right position to exhibit apt body language, and they understand the cultural languages and the cultural differences in body language is vital in today's. These cultural differences are more and more obvious in our increasingly diverse world. Differences are there, definitely. The best approach is to learn as much as you can about a person's cultural norm before you work with. When you're working in Philippines, you should understand their culture first. For example, in Japan, The way they greet the guest is quite different. They bow their heads to the floor. They never shake hands that easily. They have a different way of greeting the host or the guest. So it may be different in USA. So before working in the particular culture, you try to understand what sort of culture they are following in. Accordingly, we should work with. Facial expressions that as too long, last too long, should not be. Facial expressions should be very short. You know why? That is our asymmetrical, create skepticism, confusion all over the globe. That's why we have to have a facial expression little short, not too lengthy. Avoid such kind of facial expressions. So the final key points you have to understand, the cultural differences in body language is vital since you are facing a multicultural people from different origins. Finally, before I would conclude, having said that, the 4 types of leaders, the silent language of influence leaders, as an employee, what you're expecting. Why I'm talking about the silent language of influence leaders? Why I narrated the 4 type of leaders? What sort of leader is the best suited to your industry? What sort of leader is best suited to your work pattern? What sort of leader is best suited to the growth of an industry? Be it education industry or any production industry. Finally, having a conducive climate is the important aspect of every employee to grow. Employees need to determine what they can input into the daily routine and professional practice that would deliver effect output. That's most important thing. They need to determine what sort of input do they possess. There's a saying, if you're not updated, you are outdated. You need to update yourself. Without updating yourself, even just how I spoke about the silent language of influence leaders, how to understand different culture and different body language before working in that work environment. You need to have that updation on everything. Into daily routine and professional practice is most important thing. Your professionalism very, very, very important. Ethics. Professional ethics speaks volume about each and every individual. So, you not have a creative, conducive climate. I strongly opine, even every experts opine, we need to determine what sort of input it can give so that output will be enormous and it leads to positive growth rate. Transitions. Transitions are important to smoothly move from one task to another or from one role to another. Yes, sometime in an organization, you have to move from one department to another department, forward from one section to another section, or from one role to another role. You have to be ready. That transition plays an important role, vital role. And being influence a leader, they expect a transition in each and every employee. This type of transition should be accepted by us so that we can contribute to the entire organization's success. Transition definitely allow a stipulated time to be used effectively, very little down. See, you should not take much time to switch out other role. You should be ready. That's in the beginning itself. I told you, you need to be update yourself, even in the teaching fraternity, teaching field. For the best example I can give you, for the last 2 years, almost all nations across globe affected by COVID-19. Most of the schools have been closed down. Not almost all the schools. We started with online teaching. And teachers, those are not technically superior, they become technically strong. They started teaching the children through Zoom. So online teaching has become an integral part of teaching. Though it cannot replace in schooling. So such things, you should know how to switch over without wasting too much of time. And stipulated time should be used effectively and with very little downtime too. Yes. As member of an IGP, you have to have an high expectations. Be it any field. As a professional, you set your par at a competitive level. Be it a teacher or maybe any other working profession, your expectations should be always kept high. We expect everyone under our belt as a leader to follow rules. Again, you can connect with authoritarian type. As I told you, those type of leaders are more on task. Right from the day one, you should follow rules. We nail down rules from the first day and take time to practice if they forget. We should practice on the rules. Then only you can get that perfect coherence on order, our environment, and the conducive atmosphere, and the climate to perform. The overall, the ambience we are talking about. Expect 100% effort should be put in by each and every employee, each and every one of us, in a role assigned to us. Sometimes we falter, we do not perform to the expected potential, probably due to various reasons. But what is expected of us? Perform to your potential, perform to the role, perform as directed by your immediate boss or immediate leader, so that the result will be yours. As I repeatedly telling in this particular webinar, such type of work pattern from your side not only contribute to the growth of an organization, as an individual, you also will grow. Go side by side. Finally, I thank each and every delegates, each and every participants for waiting patiently and listening to me patiently. And as a team and as a member of any organization, we will perform to the potential. I express my gratitude to Institute of Global Professionals. As I learned, the highly famed and reputed IGP across various nations for giving me a platform. I'm talking from a remote place, a remote village in Madurai. It's a district in Tamil Nadu, southern parts of India, to connect with lovely people, lovely audience, and lovely team, IGP. It's a dream come true for me. Once again, I thank the host, thank the top command, the thank team IGP, and the wonderful, wonderful participants waiting patiently, listen to me patiently. Thank you once again to all of you. Have a great, great day ahead. Thank you, ma'am.
And we also like to thank you, sir. Thank you very much. That was was a very well presented presentation. It was very full of knowledge, and I know that everyone who was able to watch your presentation a while ago have benefited both for their personal and professional life. Once again, thank you so much, sir. Um, Dear participants, I would like to inform you that we will not have the quiz competition for tonight, and we will be moving on to our question and answer portion. So if you have questions, just comment them in the comment section. You can, once again, participants, if you have question, you can comment it in our comment section. Okay? You can address our speaker and then ask your question. The certification process will be given after the question and answer portion. Let's see. They have some questions. I am seeing from our comment section that our audiences are very thankful, sir. So we have our first question here from Dr. J. Iman Sabuso. Good evening, sir, from the Taguig City University. How can we be an effective leader without imposing it? How can we be an
Yeah,
effective leader without?
imposing. Yeah, it's a great question. It's a great question, and it talks about how can be effective leader be without being an authoritarian leader. As I told in the beginning itself, it should be a blend of country club leader type and authoritarian type. We are not supposed to exercise our power. Rather, we should make them to understand what is expected of them. So that we can be an effective leader. We talk to them, and as I told you in the beginning again, the one-to-one communication is the most important communication. The body that speaks volume about the silent language of an influencer leader. Being an influencer leader only can be an effective leader without imposing it, without imposing or exercising that power. But make them understand its employee the importance of work in a pattern, work in a system, work in a direction which fetch a result which is good for both an individual and also an organization. A very good question from Tuxing University. A great question to me, and I think they will understand from my explanation what I told you just now. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. That was very well said. Um, Dear participants, do you still have questions? Sir, there was a question sent here to me a while ago. Um, they are asking if there are any ways to deal with an authoritarian leader.
Yeah, please come again, ma'am.
Uh, they're ask some this was a question sent to me.
Yeah,
She is asking if there are ways to deal with an authoritative or au-
authoritarian type of
authoritarian
leaders.
leader.
Yes, yes, authoritarian type of leaders. The question is not clear to me. You can display on that. I can find out. Can you display on that? Is it possible?
Okay, sir.
The voice is breaking. Yeah.
All right, seems like the audience really understood the presentation tonight, sir. Once again, thank you very much for gracing IGP with your presence for tonight. Um,
Yes, there was a question from how do we ask to cooperate the hard-headed and uncooperative member? Yes, yes, it's really indeed a tough task. But again,
mhm.
if you want to cooperate with a hard-headed and uncooperative member, you need to be a country club leader type of leadership. You need to be have a great relationship with the people, low on task. Talk to them and try to convince them what is expected of them and give them a reward. So such type of things, yes, you can get out cooperation from them. This is a task everywhere. I think this most of the organizations face the same situation. Sometimes you get problematic employee in an organization. So to correct them, to bring them online, it's in the hands of leaders. Over there, leaders need not be an authoritarian, need to be a country club, and need to be understand the concern of the particular employee, try to understand their problems, and talk to them continuously, and make them comfortable so that they can perform better. Thank you.
We have another one, sir. Being a
Yes,
leader,
yes.
what will be the thing to
Best
deal with
thing,
other?
deal with other leaders who are using abusing
Yeah.
of powers. A great question indeed. Yeah, that happened in most of the cases. Here, what we're supposed to do with the leaders of who uses abusing of powers, sometimes you might have noticed they are called autocratic type of leaders. They use misuse their power. Authoritarian type is such they expect only the task. And as a leader, we have to be very cool and we have to make them understand. Rather, when you're firing back, I think we will not get the proper response from the leaders when you abuse this power. Rather, we have to make them to understand, make them to talk, and we have to be very polite in approaching them and tell them that that's not the way to use the power. And we have to make them to understand. Not an easy task again. Yeah. Next question comes from Evelyn talks about
Evelyn,
what type of leader is a teacher. Yeah, yeah, beautiful question. As a teacher, you need to be country club. You need not be an authoritarian. To some extent, team player, but it's a mixture of team player and country club. You know why? This, as a teacher, you have to come across the children of adolescent age. They are maybe between the age group of 10 to 15 years. We cannot be so authoritative to them. Rather, we should be rewarding to them always. We always have to have that pat on the back policy. You have to appreciate them, number 10. So you can get the beautiful results from the children. And the teachers are, they are the second parents at school. So we have to be not authoritative and need to be, you have to have a nuances of country club leader. Thank you.
Sir, as leaders, how can we motivate our team? And what values are more important as a leader?
Yes, as a leader, the body language comes first, definitely. And the second value is you're willing to listen to the people. You need to listen to them, the concern of the people, the concern of the employees. And when you're not cooperative, when your body language shows you are not interested at all, and you uh, click, fail to click as a team. As a leader, the values are most important: your attitude, your positive mindset, and your continuous support, and above all, your interest, your focus, and needs to be poised. With that, with that kind of nuances of an influential leader, yes, you can have a great team under your belt. Thank you.
Okay, once again, thank you very much, Dr. Balachander. Your presentation was very informative and enlightening to all of us. I'm sure that everyone who watched it will be able to use it for the embetterment of their professional and personal lives. Once again, thank you very much, sir.
Thank you. Thank you.
Our code for today's program is IGP 3876. The certification link will be available in the comment section. And if you encounter any problems, you may claim your e-certificate directly from our website, that is www.eduigp.com. Don't forget to create an account if you don't have one, because without an account, you cannot do anything functional. With code, you can claim your certificates anytime. Once again, the code is IGP 3876. Take note or take a screenshot. My dear audience, I am also encouraging you to leave a review for tonight's session and recommend us if you learned something tonight. Don't forget to share the information to your friends and community. Again, don't forget to collect your e-certificate after the session is over. After collecting, don't forget to celebrate with IGP by checking in. We hope to see you all again in all of our upcoming webinars. Let's be brave during this pandemic and radiate warmness like a sunshine to everyone. Stay safe and stay happy. Once again, this is your host, Mikey D. Leonardo, a practice teacher from New Era University, Main Campus, Quezon City, signing off. Bye.